Welcome to Calming the Chaos, where I help you find peace in a chaotic world. I'm Tracy Cannella, licensed mental health counselor who talks about chaos from a mental health perspective. And I give you self-help resources you can use to calm your chaos in any situation in this world. Isn't this fun? It's not a substitute for counseling or psychotherapy, but just a lot of helpful hints and tools. So if you're on board, feel free to tune in. And now, let the chaos begin. And oh my gosh, so much chaos. And that rhymed. So in this world right now, you are flooded with images, if you're online anyway, of war and possible war with Iran and ourselves, and also, with Israel. I find it really very interesting to think about the world being on fire. And when I think about the world being on fire, I am reminded of this TED Talk that my mom introduced me to. And it was given about a year ago, Amy McNee. And I'll put the link in the show notes and in the description for the YouTube channel for the full TED Talk. But what I want to do is I want to start this out by really expressing some mad respect for Amy and the work that she is doing. And I'm going to sit back and maybe react to some of the things that she's saying. And then I'm going to show you some of the art that has been created for me and that I have created. And then also I've had some requests from people to know what my songwriting process is. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that and some of the songs that I've written in this video. So I hope you enjoy it. It's really a video to kind of take you away from the world being on fire and to take a step back from all of the chaos of the world and just create something, whatever it is. If it's cooking, if it's something that you draw, if it's gardening, if it's planting a flower, whatever it is. For me, it's songwriting. And so I've had a lot of requests over the years that people have made, like, how do you write your songs? And I'll try and explain it a little bit here. I can't go into a lot of details because it would just be like a really long video and I don't want to do that. But for now, I am going to be showing you some of the clips from Amy McNee's the TED Talks. The world is on fire. This is why we need to create art. So check it out.
The world is literally and figuratively on fire, and I am about to tell you that you need to make art. And more than that, I'm going to argue that the creative act is a huge part in how we extinguish and put out these fires. And I can almost hear you. You're like, oh, Amy. That's me, I'm Amy. Amy, that is so cute and such a lovely idea. And it's so sweet that you think that making stuff is going to help the world. But I write horny fairy fantasy novels, and I really don't think that that's going to do anything. And I hear you, but give me 15 minutes because I want to change your mind. We're living in a culture that sidelines the creative act, that says it's something for children or something for the retired. It's an indulgence. It's a little bit selfish. It's frivolous. It's decoration. It is a narrative that is actively harming us. It is repressing our innate instincts to create. And today we're going to look at why making art is going to make your lives better and the world better. Why art is so incredibly important to you. And before I move on with this conversation, I just want to make sure that none of you are opting out of this conversation, because I am talking to you. And I know that we use the word art and artist and we kind of pedestal it. And we say, I'm not that good. I'm not great at art. I can't draw. I am talking to you today. When I talk about art, when I say the word creativity, I'm talking about anything from making a YouTube channel where you talk about your favorite Pokemon cards, to singing, to cooking, to what Pam does with gardening. The creative act, art, is anything we do where we create something with the intention to connect. So none of you are getting away with it today. When I talk about how we need your art, I am talking to you. This conversation is about you, even if you don't have a creative bone in your body.
You know, what Amy is saying may seem frivolous. And like she said, we may not want to create art. We may want to do activism. We may want to solve problems and everything. But she makes a really good case. And she's going to tell us why making art and creativity is essential when we are in times like this, when the world is on fire. I have to say that I have a lot of art that I've made through the years and probably haven't prioritized it a whole lot. Because, you know, who has time to do art when you're running a business and you're doing counseling and you're, you know, doing all this stuff at home and taking care of cats and stuff like that. But I am telling you, I have been really wanting to get back into beadworking. And I have all of these, like I have so many beads and I have things that I'd like to create, like necklaces, bracelets and stuff. And I have all this stuff. And I have to say that I probably really need to do a little bit more dedicating to that art form of mine. So it doesn't have to be beadwork. It doesn't have to be something physical. It could be a YouTube channel. Like I've got a YouTube channel and I've been creating since 2019 in this YouTube channel that I've had. And, you know, my intention with the YouTube channel was to be creating things that can help people if they can't get mental health counseling. So I really like Amy's message so far. Let's listen to a little bit more about what she has to say about why it is that when the world is on fire, we should create things.
And no one's talking about creativity. No one's talking about making stuff. It is the missing pillar of self-development. Dr. Kieran was talking about it with comedy, with laughter. We have a huge amount of juicy research that is being, for some reason, ignored, that looks at how play and creativity and art impacts us physiologically. There's an amazing piece of research. And again, Dr. Kieran spoke very similarly about this. It was a 45-minute session where people just made art. They just played around. They weren't good at it necessarily. The skill level didn't matter. 45 minutes, that was it. Cortisol levels just dropped through the floor. Exactly like Dr. Kieran said with laughter. And that is just one of so many studies that look at when you play, when you just let yourself make something, our bodies respond. Inflammation goes down, pain response goes down. If we are going to look at how to improve ourselves as humans, sure, do your 20-minute exercise, but where's your 20 minutes of playing around with the pens? Where's your 20 minutes of singing in the shower? We should be considering this, because if we want to live delicious, full lives, we need to be considering our art.
Dr. Kieran is what she's talking about, and his studies on laughter and how laughing actually lowers cortisol in your body and it increases your oxytocin levels. You know, it reduces inflammation, it reduces pain. You know, so where are we with creating? And where are our 20 minutes of creating every day? I love that message. And so in that spirit, we're going to continue to listen to Amy because I think she is amazing and fabulous, and she's got a really good message. I think the only thing that I would like to be able to say is that she mentions chaos in this next snippet. So check it out.
Making art gives you agency in a world where we have little control. So creativity is our power to enact change and bring order to the chaos that we are currently experiencing. So many of us are experiencing a sort of existential depression, this idea that, you know, we consume the news and we're like, I can't do anything about this. I have no agency. I have no power. I have no purpose. And we're seeing like an epidemic of meaninglessness. Like we just don't feel like there's any use to us. Dr. Alok Kanogia talks about this particularly with young men. And because we have this huge, like, what's the point of going forward? We see a lot of people relying on lateral experiences. So because there's no point to our future, it's all hopeless, we're instead indulging in things like phone addiction, gambling addiction, porn addiction, game addiction. I truly believe a solve here when we are consuming so much hard news about the world. And it's so reasonable for us to feel so terribly depressed about the future, is to come back to our art, to come back to our creativity. And please remember, like, you can be creative in so many different ways. Again, no one is exempt from this conversation. When we create, we have agency in a world that says that we're too small to enact change. When I write my novels, I'm the god of my own little realm. I get to tell them what to do. I get to make the change. I see my impact on the world. Creativity is our power to enact change. It is how we become powerful. And so many people are leaving our creativity on the sideline, discarding it as just play. It is so powerful to pick up whatever instrument it is you want to pick up and make something. The power is in your hands. You're sitting on the throne when you make art. Another beautiful reason to create is because it reclaims your most valuable resource, which has been robbed of us, and that's our attention. In a society that profits from you being stuck on your phone, giving your attention to art is a rebellious act. That means when you write that little piece of poetry, it isn't just a nice thing to do with your time, it is a revolutionary thing to do with your time. The other day, I figured out that if you spend 3 hours a day on your phone, from the age of, I think it was 15, to the average age of death, 79, you will have spent 10 years straight on your phone. No sleeping, just 10 years straight on your phone. And 3 hours a day is I'm going to say a fair amount of us are using those numbers. I want you to reclaim the attention that has been robbed of you, and I want you to use it to make something. We are a culture of consumption, and we've forgotten how to make. We need less consumption, more creation. Bring back your attention, reclaim it. It is yours to do with whatever you want to do. You have so much to make. There's so many things that you have to give this world. I want you to take some of those 10 years back from Zuckerberg and give it to a project you want to work on.
If you guys know anything about me, I talk a lot about attention. And being attentive and paying attention and what you pay attention to. And when you pay attention to things and it affects you, then you may not need to pay attention to those things. And maybe if the things that you are paying attention to are helpful, then continue to pay attention to those things. But I think that's what she's trying to say here is like, give your attention back to you. Give your attention back to your art. I mean, you see in the background here, I've got the privilege of having lots of musical instruments. And, I don't just have that. I have pieces of art that people have made me. This pendulum is an amethyst that my dear friend Val Burke has made for me. And it can do all kinds of interesting things. And it is so responsive. Right now, it is saying yes, because it knows that I really believe in the message. Now, if I told you guys that my name is Mark Zuckerberg, look what's going to happen to it. Automatically goes no. This is a magic pendulum that my dear friend gave me and made for me. She made this, and she made it for me for my 50th birthday. And my mother, she makes these slow stitch. Everything has a meaning. Everything has a story. Everything was made just for me. These things that you make cannot be replicated. and they're beautiful, and I cherish them all. And I have a story that I'm going to say, I'm going to tell when I start talking about my music, but I do want to introduce you to this little book right here, because this was the book that I took with me when I went to Europe, and it was my travel log. It doesn't look very big, but I write really small. So anyway, making things even like a journal. Another example is going to be, this is something that I kind of wanted to start. It's the therapist life. I used to have a life, and it's a coloring book. So like, I really want to color something. Like if I wanted to color something, I think I had, I have one marked. Yes. Yeah. This is great. This is the first one I'm going to color. Therapist by day, really tired by night. And you can use your colored pencils, and I can use my colored pencils to be able to color that book. But whatever it is, you're doing it for you. You're doing it for I don't know. You're doing it for you, but you're doing it for others, because when you create art, you are raising your vibrational frequency to another level, which helps the universe. I mean, I think if everybody did it, I think it would be just such a wonderful, magical place to be. But so when the world is on fire again, you can create art, you can do a journal, you can color a book, you can make some beads, but just do something, right? So that's what Amy has to say. Here's her closing comments, and I'd just like to end with this, and then I'll talk about a little bit about my creativity with music.
I'm going to appeal to your ego for a minute and just ask you about your legacy. What do you want to leave this world with? I've written here, artists dare to imagine a different world. Creatives never leave the world the way they found it. We can depart this place having spent 10 years straight or more on our phones and having just left the world with a memory of horror and fear and being very depressed about what's going on. Or we could leave this world with a little bit of you in art form. Whether that is recipes that you pass down to your kids, whether that's Pam's gardens that are all over England, whether that's my dad writes me poetry. That's his legacy. I'm not asking you to become a world famous artist, though I will absolutely back you if that's what you choose to do. But I am asking you to start making stuff, start taking up space, leave a legacy, leave this world with something beautiful. We're human beings. We are just born to create things. What is your legacy going to be, artist? I kind of threw this one in the end just to kind of like punch you in the gut. Your art is the antidote to so many people's pain, yet you are keeping it to yourself. I think we've been taught that creativity is a selfish endeavor, that when we go and play the piano or we go and do our YouTube, creation, that this is something just for you, that it's selfish. The act of making art is inherently generous. Your art is the antidote to so many people's pain, yet you keep it to yourself. If my dad hadn't written me these beautiful, beautiful forms of poetry, do you know how much they healed in me and the vulnerability it took my father to give them to me? It is beautiful. The way you're hoarding your creations is selfish. I'm going to turn around now and show you the back of my coat. And I want you to shout out what you can see, because it's got words on it, okay? So can anyone see what it says? What does it say? Say it louder.
We need your art.
We need your art. You guys get it. This is important. Art isn't to be sidelined. You are inherently creative with something very beautiful to give this world. I need you to start taking it seriously. You are so needed. Thank you.
Man, she was like my soul sister there. You know, and the cool thing is that you can see it one or two ways. One, oh man, I could have done a TED Talk like that. And then the second way is like, thank God somebody did a TED Talk like that so I don't have to do it, right? So there's that. Create. This is a really tough time that we're going through in this world, and it's scary, and there's all kinds of images and things that are changing rapidly. But you have your art. You have your own unique talents, strengths, and gifts that you can give. I've been saying this for years, guys. Maybe somebody will listen to me. Okay. So this is just a little piece about my songwriting process. And, you know, songs come to me in very different ways, and I will attempt to explain a couple of them with you. Also, I would really strongly recommend this book. It's called How to Write One Song, and it has all kinds of ideas. If you want to become a songwriter, the very simple ideas to use to write your own songs. And if you're a natural poet or anything else, I mean, my gosh, this book, these are my journals. Anybody wants to know about me, they're in my closet. Ha. And more journals. I like to write a lot. So it's weird because this journey started a long time ago. Back when, and I'm going to get my travel log back here, because I went to Europe back in 1984. Wait, yeah, 1984, summer of 1984. I was in Europe with the band, and I had been on scholarship in a band and a saxophone player. And, you know, my band director said, hey, you know, I would encourage everybody to write a travel log. And nobody really took it seriously except for me, because I didn't see anybody else writing a travel log. But this was the travel log. I mean, you can tell it is tattered. The pages are falling out. Oh, crap. And my writing was way, way different back then, you know. But it's all there. Every day. I would write a little bit in the travelogue. So where this is going about songwriting is that one night we were in Switzerland and there was this boat tour. It was kind of like a party boat or something like that. And I had my travelogue with me as I usually did. And because I had a kind of a purse that I put it in, but I had my travelogue with me, and I was writing some stuff down about the boat. And this very attractive man came up to me and said, hey, what are you writing in there? And I said, oh, you know, it's the travelogue. We're musicians, but my band director, John Maltester, had told us to do the travelogue. I said, it's kind of silly, but I've been kind of documenting this trip. And he goes, oh, wow, you know, you're a musician. I know, because I just saw you play. And you're a writer too. Why don't you write music? And all I could do is laugh. I'm just like, no, like songwriting is for other people. Like I can do writing well, and I can do music, like maybe a little bit if I practice like quite a bit. I can do it okay. But I never really thought about songwriting at all. And then he asked me to go to Greece with him. And I said, no, I don't. I can't do that. But it did put the seed in my mind. But of course, basically it never was planted until years later, probably back in 2013, when I met my creative partner, Will, and he encouraged me to write music. And I don't know. It starts to come to you. If you're open to it, it starts to come to you. So this is what I will offer you about what my creative process is. Okay. So here are some examples of some songs that I've written and how I've written them. The first one is called The Islands Say. And that came to me from a dream. I had a dream that I was in Las Vegas and I was just walking on the streets of Vegas and I woke up with this little tune in my head and the snippet, and they're always just snippets of things. They're not full songs, they're just snippets. The islands say, the islands say. And I took it back to Will and he goes, "Well, what are the islands saying?" And so I started thinking about it and wrote some lyrics down, and this is the islands say.
The islands say que aloha. The islands say que aloha. The islands say que aloha. The islands say there is love. Oh, the islands say. The islands say. The islands say there is love. The islands say there is love. Oh, the islands say. The islands say there is love. The islands say there is love. The islands say there is love. The islands say there is love.
Another way you can write a song is by just having a feeling from an experience or something. Back in 2014, I had met up with some girlfriends and we went up to the zoo. And we had a really great day at the zoo, and it was sunny and fun. And when I was driving back home, I was thinking, wow, this feeling, like, how can I express it in music? And that's where Kailana High came into being. And here's Kailana High.
Open my
There's also a song that I wrote really pretty recently that had to do with an experience of me having anorexia nervosa. So I've had it twice, and I've known the pain that it has caused and can cause. And putting the words to the song and the video too was just so cool. I really like this song, and it's called "A Storm Within."
A storm has begun everywhere, everything and half as much. With no place to run, I can hide in my mind and be out of touch. A world is created under a darkened sea. My body is weighted and the skies disappear along with me. The storm rages on, I sink further down and I fade away. No one sees I have gone to a silent place where I want to stay. A world is created under a darkened sea. My body is gated and my mind disappears inside of me. Silence the storm as the sea turns into enemy. I fight to keep warm and the tides of my mind crash against me. A world is created under a cold dark sea. My body is hated, and behind is a life out in front of me. It's hard to breathe. Where have I been? I start to spin. Stay under the sea, or try to survive the storm within. The world I created is no longer serving me. It seems overrated, so I cry and I try and help others see. I see the sky, it changes day by day. Each moment of life is lived in a world where I want to stay.
The thing that I really didn't expect to be happening was me writing songs about other YouTube creators' creations. The first one was Critical K, when I went on to her show and I wanted to make a stand and I didn't want to tell her how to run her channel. By the way, her channel is taken down and I think she's, I don't know, she's in some sort of legal trouble anyway. But I did want to make a point. So I did go on her live stream and my face was on camera and everything. And I got attacked. I will put a link down in the description to this YouTube channel if you want to see me and the whole attack that they had. But from that came this song called The Lion's Den. And it was the first time I had ever even thought about writing about people who are on YouTube. And The Lion's Den, I think it's an amazing song, and it obviously, doesn't get a whole lot of play.
Circled faces on the screen, a court of fools before the queen. Stop it now, it's so obscene. Into the lion's den I go there once again, and I am crazy. Well, okay. crazy today. Click the link and join the stream. I am making quite a scene. Hearing all hypocrisy. Into the lion's den with kazoos and diapered men. Yes, you are crazy. Well, okay. Crazy today. Hear your laughter in a dream. Voices strong and harsh and mean. Waking up, I start to scream. Into the lion's den with tiny violins, and we are crazy. Well, okay. Crazy today.
But it was all about like getting attacked on a YouTube channel. But then other YouTube creators, like I would have to say James Games. I've written James Games 3 songs, and he plays video games, and there's the experience of having, you know, a game like Red Dead Redemption, which has a story to it, and you're supposed to find quests and do things. And through it all, you have these people in the chat who are very dear to you, talking about things, and the words come. And the song that and so the first song I wrote for James was Holy Dog Baloney, and it was kind of almost like a dare, because he's like even laughing. Oh, you're gonna write a reggae song about Holy Dog Baloney? Okay. And I was like, okay, game on. And apparently it's a favorite, and I've never really put it on my channel, but I will. And so here's a little bit of Holy Dog Baloney.
I don't know. I've never really been a completionist, but I haven't used, in this game, I haven't used any kind of cheats, so. Oh, shit. Yeah, well, you know, we all make mistakes. Holy Dog Baloney. You're gonna write a song called Holy Dog Baloney? You're gonna write a reggae song called Holy Dog Baloney? Holy Dog Baloney. The dog baloney, holy moly. I don't know. There you go. That's something. You can start with that.
Well, this song is dedicated to my friends at James Games. Check out his channel, and here's the song. Riding on my horse, just about sundown, on my way back home, looking for my banjo. Holy dog baloney, what did I just see? Holy dog baloney, could it be a bunny? Bunny, bunny, bunny. I get back on my horse, gonna buy me some new clothes. I found me a union suit, a hat, and these pants are cute. Holy dog baloney, what did I just hear? Holy dog baloney, now I think I need a beer. Now it's time to go. Gonna find that buffalo. Gonna make my way up north where there is lots of snow. Holy dog baloney, who's that in the trees? Holy dog baloney, they are attacking me. Found my buffalo walking in the snow, and now it's time to go over to the trading post. Holy dog baloney, I just saw a wolf. Holy dog baloney, I think I've had enough. Ow! There you go. Here it is. All right. Now you can get kind of technical with the video part of the songwriting because the songwriting comes first and then the video can come later. And I think this is probably my favorite video. It's just called James Games. And it is about when he was playing Grand Theft Auto. And I wrote this song. And the song is very simple, but the video took hours to edit. And I thought it came out really great. There's a link to it below, but here's a little snippet of what you'll see when you see like a video and an audio both combined. Redhead dude runs down the street looking for some guys to beat. A lightning bolt tattoo, he knows what to do. James gotta play his games. Sometimes it's lame, but never the same. James has gotta play his games.
You too. You're playing dead.
Get a car from my garage, 'cause there's cops I gotta dodge. Swerve down snowy streets and shoot some road cones sweet. James has gotta play his games. Sometimes insane, never the same. James has gotta play his games. Purple cars and titty bars. I think I'll go back to my car. And now I'll fly a plane. Crashing's worth the pain. James has gotta play his games. Sometimes it's lame, but never the same. James has gotta play his games. Through the tubes to win the race. I'll jump and fly into your face. I think I'll take a truck and say what the fuck. James has gotta play his games. Sometimes insane, but never the same. James has gotta play his games.
Alright, well that's probably once it pings, eat like kings. Up and at 'em. Yeah, it's probably a good place to call it a night. Fucking traffic cones aren't gonna tell me about how to live my life. Now you don't have to play. And you, coup de grace. Alright, these traffic cones are not gonna tell me how to live my life. Alright, let's go. Oh, I forgot, the mouth moves when you talk. Like, if you look at his mouth, it's moving as I talk. It's ridiculous.
And then there's, of course, Dr. Boo. And that's the third song that I wrote for James Games. So you can be inspired by a channel or a creator of a channel, and you can have funny videos or, inspiring videos. The one with Dr. Boo was absolutely hilarious and fun. And again, it raises your oxytocin levels, it lowers your cortisol levels, it helps you to laugh, it helps you to be creative. And so you can be creative with other creators, and they can give you permission to use their work, and you can, manipulate it how you want. And so that's another way to write a song. So here's a little bit of Dr. Boo. Bob is a sick old lad. He has insurance, that is bad, but now he needs a heart transplant and he don't know what to do. So Bob says, who? And then he calls Dr. Boo. Boo, Dr. Boo.
This is gonna be awesome.
Boo is fresh from medical school, a virgin surgeon with slicing tools. Boo tells Bob it will all be cool. You don't need insurance for me to operate on you, 'cause you got Dr. Boo.
I don't know who's calling.
Boo, Dr. Boo. Boo gets Bob in the operating room, says, I'll take your heart out and give you something new. Doesn't bother with gloves, just the basic tools. And now he's covered in blood, uses a knife And he's just trying to save poor Bob's old life. Because he's cool. Yeah, he's Dr. Boo. Ooh, Dr. Boo. Cutting the ribs is no simple task. Discoordination and some sips from the flask. Toss out the liver and the lungs. Surgery can be tons of fun with who? Yeah, with Dr. Boo. Ooh, Dr. Boo. Dr. Boo tries the drill, but not to kill. Double lung removal, hope Bob made a will, because his family will be devastated when they hear Bob didn't quite make it. And why? Because Dr. Boo has Bob's blood on his shoes. Ooh, Dr. Boo. Second time around, Dr. Boo is getting down to business. Better call Trisha, she can certainly help us. But he can't work the phone, so he's all alone. So only 3 minutes till brutal murder is done. 'Cause Boo, he has not a clue. Ooh, Dr. Boo. Third time around, Dr. Boo discovers a tool. It looks like a saw, but what does it do? He should probably go back to medical school, 'cause in 4 short minutes, brutal murder occurs. From who? Yeah, Dr. Boo. Ooh, Dr. Boo. We all see murder happening faster. This whole thing has become a disaster. Dr. Boo dropped some acid and got the lungs out of here. Told Bob to keep his libs as souvenirs. Woo! Accidentally stabbed Bob in the face and smoking in surgery. Such a disgrace. But that's Dr. Boo. He got attitude. Ooh, Dr. Boo. Now we go to number 5. At the end, will Bob still be alive? Cut the noodle, get to the heart. Now comes an interesting part. 'Cause out comes the heart and the scalpel goes in, gushing blood, and it's a win. For who? Yeah, for Dr. Boo. He gets a D grade, but it's okay. Drugs for everyone.
Pills for everyone today.
Ooh, Dr. Boo. Now about Bob's family. They're all down on their knees, praying for Bob, 'cause Boo's gonna do his kidneys. Ooh. Yeah, that's Dr. Boo. Ooh, Dr. Boo. Thank you. Drive through, please. And don't stop at Dr. Boo's office. Just keep driving.
We meet again. Okay.
Thanks for listening to Calming the Chaos podcast. If you found this podcast interesting or helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can also go to www.calmingthechaospodcast.com to listen to all Calming the Chaos podcast episodes. I look forward to sharing my next podcast episode with you. In the meantime, take care.